it's Lisa. We're coming up on the new year and I'm ready to do my favorite scrapbook page of the year. It's where I try to sum up what happened in the prior year with just a list of some of the things that I got accomplished, and then look toward the new year with goals, objectives, resolutions. I do different things sometimes as to what I'm going to look for, but that's usually the basic three things that I like to have down. Last year I did not do this. I did a page where I had this long list of things that were like New Year's resolutions, that I was going to do all these different things, and I typed them up, and I even put them right here in front, right where every time I sit down at this table I would see them. I had the list printed and I put it in my bathroom, so it was on the mirror. The other day I was in here and I was like, what's that piece of paper? And I pulled that down and it was that list. It's been there for a year and I stopped paying attention to it just a few weeks into the new year. It was one of those situations where I had all this stuff I wanted to do and I put too much stuff on myself at one time. I find that resolutions work better if I have one or two things I'm going to do and it's something that I need to do every day. So it's, so I get in a new habit. Those kinds of things like journaling every day. A couple of years ago I made that my New Year's resolution because my journaling had been more sporadic, like 2 or 3 times a week I would journal. But I said, okay, I'm going to write something every day, even if it's one sentence. And it's stuck. For the last 2 years I've journaled every day. I think I've missed 1 day in 2 years that I forgot to journal. So it's just, it's become a good habit for me. And that's what I'll probably do with my resolutions this time. For the page, I always have some kind of selfie that I put on the page. So I've got my photograph. I'm looking at dividing the page in half so that I have the picture and embellishments on one side, and the other half of the page will be divided into 4 sections where I'll do fold-outs. Because the accomplishments for the prior year, I tend to write down all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is just for my eyes, and it makes me feel a little bit better about what I've done for the year to list those things out. And so I list them out, and I'll have those, so that'll be some kind of fold out for those. I'll have goals, objectives, and then resolutions down at the bottom, which are things that resolutions to me is an ongoing thing. It's you're trying to change a habit or instill a new habit. Like maybe you want to drink water instead of soda. That's a resolution, to drink X amount of water per day or whatever. So that kind of thing is a resolution. Goals are the big long-term things, and objectives are the specific ways to meet those goals. So that's what I do as I look forward to the new year, and it really helps guide me if I have that, and I love having that on a page. And it's fun to look back too, to see what your past years have been. I haven't done that yet this year. I haven't written all of this stuff this year. I've been working on the accomplishments, been thinking about the others, haven't written them down yet, but I can go ahead and get the format here in this scrapbook page while I have some time. For this page, it's always one of my favorites to do because I like to get that information together. It also lets me use whatever paper I'm in the mood to use, or whatever kind of goes with my photograph. I've got some blue and pink here on, but it doesn't really make that much difference. I'm just looking for something that really appeals to me. And what appealed to me this morning as I went through my paper is actually this old basic gray paper called Knee-Highs. This was a children's collection years and years ago. So, and it was gifted to me, is how I ended up with the children's collection, but I love it. I think the papers are beautiful. Now there's some really basics here that could be used for anything, but one of the reasons this appealed to me was this paper. The back side of this yellow is this big floral print, and I don't usually have a lot of places to use floral prints. This kind of page is a good place. So this could be my background, and then I could just add my embellishments around it, or I could cut up some of this floral and use it on those sections. Those sections that are going to be fold-outs, there's not going to be a lot that you see other than the word accomplishments or the word goals and maybe the year, and you'll have to open it up, or I will, to see the detail, because I don't want somebody to see, what my objectives were necessarily as they were flipping through my album. So I really like those, and I could work with just those papers. The other thing, and this is the stickers that went with it, and there were some embellishments here. Now some of these, this was also for the boys collection as well, so the colors aren't always great. This one has some pretty stickers, but I don't, other than the butterflies, I don't know what I would use for my page. So let me put those aside, those aside. I don't think there's going to be anything in those two. And maybe these letter stickers just look like sewing. Those are pretty and appropriate. Now I also like this paper. This is called Free Spirit. It's from Prima. I don't remember if it came with this. I think it came with the same stuff. Oh, here's some more stickers. Oh, I like this because I like the border sticker could divide the page, so that's a really good choice. These also from Prima. These are some beautiful papers, and I think would make a really nice background. They're a little bit of a soft colorway though, so I'm kind of thinking that I'll save those for something else. I mean, this page would look very, very good, but you wouldn't end up seeing very much of it. So I think I'm going to save that for another project. So we'll kind of put those aside. I also got this set of Prima wood embellishments, and I might use some of these. I've had these before. I had already bought and used almost all of these when this pack was gifted to me, so I was delighted to get another set because they were so useful. But I'm really thinking about concentrating on this paper. It's just how I arrange it. And we're going to want, let's see which one of these. We know we're going to want something to divide the page, so probably, I'm kind of thinking this green here looks like it's a eyelet kind of sticker. Well, I could do the ruler too, because you know you're measuring your goals and things, so that would work really well. Lots of good stuff there. Might could even use one of these circles. Kind of around my photo. Lots of good stuff there. So it's just a matter of figuring out where I want to go with the page. Do I want to make the background this? And my embellishments will probably come from these, and they'll probably also come from my stash. I may add some other flowers in and some other things. So I'll have to go through my stash when I get ready to do the embellishments. What I think I'll do first is divide the page though in half and get those fold outs ready, and then I can go back and embellish the page. So let's see, do we want to make this the background, or do we want to use some of this on the fold outs? If I use that for the background, I've got this and this I can use on the fold outs, and I just need to find a couple more pieces of paper that match this, and that's a good use for 6x6s. So I'll grab some 6x6s and see what would match, because I'm kind of inclined to use this paper on the background and maybe one of the sections like the resolutions or something. Kind of thinking. I want to see a fair amount of this paper.
I selected the yellow paper as a background, and I decided to not take up quite the whole side of the paper. I'm leaving a border. I have some 5" by 10" cardstock, and I want to show you how I'm going to do the folds. Now I'm going to actually print out everything before I score it, but this is just a sample one to show you that I'm going to score it in half long ways, and then I'm going to score 2½ inches over on each side, so that I fold it up and then fold it over on each side to create a 2½ inch by 5" folded paper that will adhere to this yellow background. And you'll see in a little while how those things are going to stay closed, and then I can open them up and read the information on the inside for each one. My information, of course, will be, you know, my personal stuff, so I didn't want to share those. So I have those taped with some washi tape temporarily, and I'm just adhering them to the yellow paper. And then we're going to make some little tabs that will go over the top. Taking a couple of pieces of punched pieces of cardstock and some brads. I'm going to do these different ways. The ones at the top and the bottom I can reach from the top and from the bottom using a brad to adhere this little tab that will then just be turned, where you can turn it around and open up what's on the inside. So see, you can flip it up, and then I can open the accomplishments, what is up there on the top, and the one on the bottom I can turn it down and open that one, and that's resolutions, and it's actually just folded in the middle. It doesn't even fold up from the bottom because I didn't need as much space. And these on the side, since I don't have quite as much room, I decided to do little tabs from each side. And I'm using some of the stickers and adhering those to cardstock for a little bit of extra strength, and then putting a small brad through each one. And we'll put those on the paper, and I can take some of that washi tape and cover up those brads on the back so it'll be easy to slide this into my page protector. That's just a handy thing to do if you have brads, is to cover the back of them so that so it's easy to slide things in. Now I forgot before I did this to put in one of the stickers, border stickers, so I'm going ahead and doing that. And I've got bunches of letter stickers here. I'm going to label accomplishments on the top, then goals, objectives, and resolutions. I'm just getting a few of these stickers out, seeing which ones that I want to use. I'm going to want some more embellishment on those little fold-outs as well. And I'm pulling out a few embellishments that I'm going to use with my picture there on the left. I've got the butterflies, and those will get scattered around. There wasn't anything else on those stickers that was really appropriate. And I'd like to have some background paper behind my photo. I think it needs something to set it off. So I went to my 6x6 papers and pulled out a few scraps, colors that or just pieces that I have broken down out of the 6x6 pad by color. And so I've got some green and some pink, and then I have these little tiny scraps, and just seeing what else I can find over here to embellish those white folded pieces of paper. And I'm really using a lot of the stickers. I thought I would pull more other stuff out of my stash, but what I found is that the stickers that came with this are very useful. So we'll get the letters on some of this scrap paper, and I've got them all labeled now. I even used one of the round stickers kind of around the corner of my photograph in 2019 there at the bottom, and then just adding a few other little touches. I was going to put that yellow butterfly at the bottom, but I put a yellow sticker there, so I had to rearrange them just a tad. And we're just about done with everything that this page needs. Maybe a few more stickers, and I'm going to reach for some enamel dots out of my stash before I get done here. But most of the things came from the collection.
So my 2019 page is all ready to go. It does have accomplishments for 2018 as well as all the other sections. And the way these open again is I just slide the tab to the side. For example, the objectives one, just turn this down, turn this over, around, and then these pull out and it folds out, and I can read what those are. And I have them in another location on my computer, so it's fairly easy to find these. But I have found sometimes I can't figure out where I left, where the file was on the computer, maybe a couple months down the road, and so I'll just go to the album because that's the handiest place. And then years down the road, it's good to look back. After I wrote the goals, I went back and I looked at a few of the past years to see if I was still how my goals had shifted, and it was interesting to look and see what had changed, and quite a few things have changed in the last few years. So I think I have more clarity of where I'm going, or where I want to go. Where I'm going, we don't know, but where I want to go with my life. So so it was interesting to go back and look at that, and rather than dig through files on the computer from years past, these albums just make that so much easier. We think everything digital is better. It's great to have it, but just having something, a lot of times you can put your hands on something paper like this, is so much easier. Then on this side of the page, I've got a few decorations. I added just a few enamel dots to kind of finish this off, and that is my wrap-up page for 2018 and looking forward page for 2019, using some pretty papers, things that wouldn't always go with our activity type of pages. So that's why this one is always a special fun activity for me, to wrap up the old year and start out with the new year. And I didn't set it out as a specific objective, but I did list it in sort of a and other things I want to do for the year is to get back into scrapbooking. Objectives need to be a little more concrete, and I just wanted to sort of say that in general, so I would maybe get back into doing some of these things. I'd like to do some more pages. I've been looking back in my albums for some other information recently, and I realized how little I did this past year, and that I miss having those pages and capturing a lot of those everyday events and things that are going on. So I hope that you'll be seeing more of my traditional pages. I've been trying to do at least one video of some kind a month, but they haven't always been scrapbooking, so I'd like to get to doing some of those. And certainly I have plenty of stuff to work with that I can do in scrapbooking. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a very happy new year.